Oh, yeah. Hey! Can you dig it? Well, hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the show. It's Friday night on Untethered Live, and I'm your host, Jake Johnson, and joining me is the Bandhammer.
Howdy, Untethered Live.
There she is. What's going on, everybody? How's life treating you on the new year? This is our first video of the brand new year, 2026. Everybody's going to have to remember to write that now. Don't write 2025. Write 2026. I still write 2004 sometimes. Whatever. Come on in. It's going to be a good show. I can feel it in my bones. Judy's up first. She says, hey, everybody. Hi, Judy. You get the gold star for being first in chat. Amanda.
Judy, here's your gold star.
Amy says, hi, Judy. And with exceptions discussed in the chapter 2, or 2 Thessalonians 3:10, which states, for even when we are with you, this we command you, that if any would not work, neither should he eat. Amen. That's true. If you won't pick up after yourself, nobody else should. If you won't achieve for yourself, nobody else should. You have a life. It's up to you to live it. Nobody else will. It's very true. If you do not do your part, you should not partake in the spoils. If you're sitting on your butt, the Bible describes it as being attached to a mattress, flip-flopping on a mattress. That's what the word means anyway. If you're one of those people, you shouldn't eat. And interesting thing, when you stop feeding a person, the first day, that person can say all kinds of things. The second day, that person says a few things. But the third day, this little switch goes off in their head. And suddenly they're interested in doing something because they're starting to get hungry. And the hungrier they get, the more interested in doing something they become. It's very interesting to watch. You should try it. Pretty soon, they get the picture. Oh, if I want to eat, I better work. And it may take a little while to get them to work hard, but it won't take long to get them to do something. I promise. They will not starve to death. Very few might. Most won't. Everybody's not supposed to survive, just so you know. You ever heard the expression survival of the fittest? There's a reason that's an expression. Because it implies the unfit don't survive. Anyway, Judy says, where is everyone? They're here. What are you talking about? Where is everybody? There you are. Here I am, drinking coffee. You want to have a cup of coffee with me? If so, go to the kitchen, pour yourself up a nice hot cup of coffee, and let's get started. If you don't have a cup, you can get one in the description below. I recommend the first one. It has my face on it. It is fantastic, but also we got stainless steel tumblers down there, big ones and little ones with locking lids. They both keep your coffee hot for hours. They look great on your coffee table. They have the Untethered Live Bible Study logo on the front and all the platforms on the back. Get one while supplies last. Also, flathead screwdrivers. And that little scrapey thing that goes on a keychain that you can't find anywhere, we got one of those too. I'm not sure about those last two, but you should check out the cups for sure. Like, subscribe, share, support, join, and super chats are available in the chat box if you'd like to show a little bit of love. But if you're one of those that want to, that's Feed Jake for the uninitiated. If you're one of those, you can absolutely do so at CashApp $JakeJohnsonBand or PayPal.me/JakeJohnsonBand. And I do greatly appreciate it. And one last thing. If you would like to hang out with us outside of YouTubeverse, if you'd like to share pictures, text, videos, memes with each other and get to know one another and keep up with things that are adjacent to the things we talk about, which is refreshed weekly, do that over at Facebook.com/UntetheredLive chillin'. The link is in the chat. It's a great place to hang out, share, and have fun. It's yours. It's free. Why not? Go check it out. And now, on with the show. Hang on, I gotta find something here. Oh, there it is. Yes, get rid of those two things. They're in my way. I'm back. Judy says, hey, Amy.
Judy, here's your gold star. Hi, Judy and Amy. Hamburger helper hand.
Hamburger helper hand. Judy says, hey, Amanda and Jake. Hi. How was your New Year's? Did you get hammered and watch the fireworks? We heard them, but we never saw them. But we did watch the balls drop.
Twice.
Yeah. Amanda.
Hi, Untethered Live family. Good to see y'all. I hope everyone is good. Hi, Jake. How are you tonight?
Fantastic. I can't complain. I'm good. I feel good. I've seen The Exorcist 176 times, and it keeps getting funnier and funnier every single time I see it. What do you think? You think I'm qualified?
I think you're certifiable, but I don't know about qualified.
I am certified.
Certifiable.
I'm certified. I have the papers. Here's the link to the chilling page if anyone wants to check that out. Debbie's here. Hi, Debbie.
Chat jump.
I know, I see that. Judy says, okay, where is everyone for the second time? You don't repeat yourself. I heard you. They're here. There you are. Here I am. There she is. There they are. And more coming every second. It's good. Aaron's here. What's up, brother? Aaron says, she's got a smile that reminds me of childhood memories where everything was as fresh as a bright blue sky. Nice. Now and then when I see her face, it takes me away to that special place. And if I stay there too long, probably break down and cry. Copyright claim. Okay. Moving on. Bill Bennett says, hello, Untethered Live family. Good to see you guys. Bill, nice to see you, brother. How are you? Aaron, how are you? Nice to see you. You look refreshed and happy as far as letters go. Judy says, hey, Aaron.
Aaron and Bill, hamburger helper.
Hamburger helper. Judy says, hey, Bill.
Good song, Aaron.
Amy says, like, share, and invite some friends. Thank you, Amy. How are you? Aaron says, hey, Judy. Hey, Amanda. With the naked necklace turkey hand. I like it. Naked necklace turkey hand.
Naked.
Come.
Balls drop.
Judy says, LOL, Aaron. And Amy says, Aaron, kissy face. Aaron says, I got my popcorn, and I ate half of it. I think Amanda did too. She might have eaten all of it. I don't know. I haven't kicked the can as I walk by lately.
Yeah, he kicks the can when he walks by to see how much is left in it. No, I think I've eaten about all the cheese and about a quarter of the caramel.
Amy says, hey, Judy, Amanda, Bill, and last but not least, Jake Johnson. Hi. Jake from State Farm. The Snake. And any other Jake I can't think of right now. Amanda says.
My chat jump. I think it's Amberger.
No, it's Piggy.
Oh, Piggy, Aaron.
I like the Piggy. I hadn't seen that one before. Piggy.
Yep. Aaron's a Piggy on popcorn.
A lot of camels, but no piggies and piggies. I like Piggy.
He just got his popcorn a couple days ago. He sent me a picture of it.
He might have been hungry.
Been craving popcorn. Don't let him lie. Leo ate half of it.
Maybe.
Leo opens it while he's at work and eats it.
Aaron says, facts. Amy says, I sent Lady B the link, and hopefully she'll join us, but she's currently taking a mental health break from social media. We've all been there before. Yeah, I haven't. I'm mentally healthy, so I don't have that problem.
You're mentally a nutcase.
Maybe. I don't feel stressed by social media, though.
I don't either. I just don't go on it if I don't want to. And if my people get aggravating, I put my phone on silent.
I don't let inanimate objects rule the way that I think. I know some people do, but I cannot. It's inanimate. It doesn't do anything. It will not rule me. I'm the master of it. I bought it. It didn't buy me. That's why I'm no longer using Windows, because they pushed their way in a little too far. Windows, you're fired. I gave you a chance. I bought your software, and now you want to try to tell me how to use it? I don't think so. So now we're going to use Linux in this house from now on. If you would like to know how to use Linux, let me know. I'll put together some videos and teach you to get away from Microsoft.
Yes, that's
Mac.
all he's been doing for the past week and a half. Sleeping, sitting up, installing Linux on all the laptops.
Well, when you want to learn something, there ain't but one way to do it, and that's to go for it.
I turn over and look, and he's asleep, sitting up in front of the computer.
Yeah, but I got a nice, shiny new system. And by the way, I'm running Linux currently on my laptop from 2004 that hasn't been in use in quite a few years.
10 years.
It's been in my closet for 10 years. I am currently running it on that machine that would not run Windows 10. It would not run Windows 10, so I gave it up. I'm currently running a Linux machine that is as fast as this Mac that I'm on right now in every way, and pretty, and works. I've got to tell you something. I think they've gone too far. Anyway.
Not to mention the 25 programs that Macintosh and Windows has to open before your computer will even start up. Linux
Right.
don't do all that.
Nope, it goes straight to the point. And it's smooth, and so far I've had no issues with it. Now, Linux can be scary because there's 1,001 distros out there, distributions, different versions, different flavors, different spices of Linux. It's all the same thing, but with different skins. And that can intimidate you. And then there's the whole terminal thing. You got to do the programming. Not so anymore. Now they have Linux that'll run by itself, and just occasionally you have to go in, and there's plenty of tutorials that'll tell you how to do it, and you don't even have to know all that stuff. So don't let it scare you. I'll tell you what to get if you want to know. Amy says, I'm at work tonight because I forgot to request it off when I requested the rest of the holidays off. Oh, I thought you were on vacation.
She is. That's what she said. She forgot to request today off when she got the rest of the days off.
Gotcha. Well, at least you get $1 or $2 during your vacation, right? Judy says, oh, bummer, Amy. Amy says, it's been a quiet night. This is the slowest part of the year for me. I've had 2 days off this week because there's nothing to do. And it won't pick up until about the end of January. It'll start picking back up.
It's been weird this week.
Yeah, so we're going to be struggling for the next couple of weeks, just so you know. Don't freak out if things change. It'll only last a couple of weeks. Amber says, bunch of hamburger helper hands. Good evening, friends and family. Hi, Amber. How are you? Judy says, hopefully it will stay that way. Quiet. Hopefully. Hopefully there's no puke to clean up or anything like that. And Judy says, hey, Amber. Debbie says, howdy all, y'all. Hey, Debbie. Nice to see you, sweet lady. How you liking the new year? Nice and shiny 2026?
Amber, hamburger helper hand. Debbie, hamburger helper hand.
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. Piggy, piggy. I like piggy, piggy. We're going to use that more. We've got to find a reason to use that more. Amber says, happy ridiculously elderly dwarves day. Remember everybody that deployed. Amy says, hey, Aaron, I forgot to mention it earlier. I saw an advertisement for Michael Jackson, the musical showing in Indy. Interesting. Are you saying that she wasn't lying?
Well, speaking, she's not in Indy.
Indiana.
No, I think they're talking about India.
Indiana.
Okay, maybe.
Well, musicals move around. That's the whole point. Where we at? My chat jumped.
8:39.
8:39.
Judy's comment.
Oh, here we are. Judy says, 1 beer here. Stayed up till 2:30. Nice. And hey, Debbie. Amy says, hey, Glitter Buttercup. Hey, Glit Buttercup. Gleet. How do you say that? Gleety?
Gleet.
Gleet. Gleet. Isn't that the sound a goat makes? Gleet, gleet, gleet.
I don't know.
Aaron says, Amy, that show trash, LOL. Run away. Soph might show up there. Amy says, Washington Glitter Wand. Nice. Amber says, Jake, you look as if you got a bit of rest. Thank you. No, I've been burning it at both ends for the past week. I've had very little rest. The rest I've had has been
sporadic.
Violent.
Yeah.
Violent rest.
Both of us.
But thank you. I appreciate it.
It seems good. It seems just as we get a chance to lay down or to actually relax, something happens. There's time to get up and do something.
Oh, yeah.
I gotta go to the store or gotta do something.
It's always good. But thank you, Amber. You look very nice, too. I love the thing that you're wearing.
No pants.
Hey, I like that even better. Amy says, moon ladies that are dancing, I think. Either that or throw golf balls at them, one or the other.
I think that's disco dancing.
Is that a disco ball?
I
guess
so.
Because it could be shining. Yeah, maybe.
I think that's a disco ball.
Looks like the moon to me. Disco ball ladies that are dancing.
Yep, that'd be a disco ball.
A little mirror stuck all in her face. What are you saying there exactly? Amber says, Glitter love y'all that much. Glitter love y'all that much. A bunch of hearts and a bunch of smiley faces and stars and unicorns. Amy says, Jake, did you see the video of the guitar I sent you? I did. Did you buy that for me? Debbie says, Jake looks and sounds like he had pizza for dinner. Yeah. You know it. The balls did drop last night. And then
Twice.
Amber says, no worries. Regular thinking of you cards have no glitter. Holiday gets glitter. Pinky promise. You do all the glitter you want, Amber. That you are you, and that's special. Aaron says, it's funny, when I first heard that song, I know it's about a girl, but now it makes me think about my mom and her talking to me, and I think that that's really what he wrote the song about. It's possible. Well, your mom is a girl, so it could go that way. I think it's an allegory for his own childhood. That's what I think. I think the girl in that story is his childhood and the innocence lost over time. But that's just me. It's not like I'm a songwriter. It sounds like a conversation between the two, like she's saying, sweet child of mine, and he's remembering her. Yeah. Very astute. And I like where your head's at. Amy says, I cut up a fresh pineapple before work. You're supposed to eat those, not murder them. Are you going to eat it after work?
She's probably eating it at work in her lunch break.
Well, she didn't say any of that. She just said she cut it up before work. Why would you do a thing like that?
So she could have it to eat at work. I seen a cool way to slice a pineapple, though.
Yeah?
Yeah, I've always been one, to chop the end, the head and the foot off of it, or the head and the butt,
Oh, no.
and then slice the sides of it and core it. No, you don't do that. You slice it at angles. No, you slice it at angles with the grain of the outside of the pineapple, both directions, in a cross pattern, and then you can just pull the little chunks of the pineapple out.
Right. That's basically what I do, just I do it from the top. I mean, you're not going to make the little circle thing. They have a machine that does that.
No, I'm not talking about the circles.
But you can get the core out of it pretty easily.
Yeah, that's not what I'm talking about, though. You don't even take the core out. You just cut the head and the foot off, and then you take and you slice almost like you're scoring a piece of meat.
Yep.
And you score both directions on the pineapple, and your pieces, just grab a little square and you wiggle it, and it'll pop right out off the core.
I have to check
and then you
that
got a
out.
bite.
I had to check that out. I bought one pineapple in my life.
I've bought quite a few. I don't eat pineapple. I don't like pineapple.
I bought more than one, but only at one period of time when I was juicing.
That's what I say. That's the only time I bought them, when I was juicing.
So it's not like I'm going to, run into a pineapple in the wild and have to know how to handle it.
I don't eat pineapple, so.
I love pineapple, but I'm rich. I'll buy them in a can. I'm rich, bitch. Enough to buy pineapple in a can. I also don't manhandle coconuts. Just so you know. If I need coconut, they sell it in a bag. Payback Amber says, Aaron. Right? You're going to get a dump truck full of glitter backing up to your house. All you're going to hear is that beeping noise, and then you'll be neck deep in glitter.
Yeah, and the beeping noise and about 3 carpet drying fans off the back of it.
Oh, Lord.
It'd be a glitter dust.
Oh, my God. It's everywhere. I so wish I had the voice to articulate that the way I saw it in my mind.
It's everywhere. It's everywhere.
Yeah, very high pitched. I can't do it. Aaron says, hi, Amy. And she calling me Piggy, LOL. Piggy. Amy says, fun fact, zebras are black with white stripes. In the womb, they're black and develop white stripes as they grow in the uterus. Well, how do you know they're not white with black stripes? Can you prove otherwise? How do you know they're not blue until they touch air?
LOL, yes. I've had my popcorn for 2 weeks, so Aaron.
You're right. I'm just teasing you. Amber says, no worries, Aaron. I enjoy crazy love. Don't we all? I respect nicely for the squad. I represent nicely for the squad. Which squad? What are we talking about? Are you talking about the squad in Washington, D.C.? Or this squad? This squad. Okay. Aaron says, Leo did eat some. He learned to catch. Nice.
That's cool, Aaron.
That's a good use for popcorn. You can learn to catch it in your mouth and it won't bust your face open when it hits you and you don't catch it. Like other foods will. You ever been hit in the eye with a peanut?
Or an M&M.
Or an M&M?
My brother chipped a tooth on an M&M once.
I chipped a tooth on a biscuit once. True. I ate for free at that restaurant for the rest of the time they were in existence, too. Amanda?
That's cool, Aaron. I already said that.
Amber says, Birdie. I see your birdie, and I'll raise you a piggy. Amy says, glitter grounds. Going off the rails on the crazy train. Hard to do with your finger, but I did it. And an out-of-tune guitar. It's been hanging on the wall way too long. She's going up the rails on a crazy train. Ow. Aaron says, yes, I throw it way up and he catches it. Nice. And Jake, I'm proud of you. Thank you, sir. Why? Why are you proud of me? I appreciate it. I'm proud of you too, by the way. Amanda says,
Capricorns rule. T-minus 9 days, LOL.
yes, your birthday's coming up.
T-minus 9 days.
Yes, in February 22nd, right?
Yeah, 9 days.
July 32nd, right?
Nope.
Oh, Amber says, golden opportunity missed. Jake said, it's been in the closet for 10 years and didn't say fabulous. It came out of the closet. Right? Came out of the closet. It did. It's a great computer, though. I knew one day I would be able to breathe life back into it. I just did not know when. Turns out 10 years later. Amanda says,
Piggy, Jake.
you want some ice cream? Where's that from? Anybody?
I can't think of the name of the movie.
That would be Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure. Piggy. That's the only thing I can remember. It's a chant about ice cream, though. Aaron says, I don't fat shame people at all. But I was in 3 girls, teenage girls. But it was 3 girls.
Your chat jumped.
Hold on. Did it?
Yeah, 8:47.
Oh, it did jump. That happened without me even seeing it. Amber says, the gun range is going crazy across the mountain. Whoa. Nice. About 15 rounds just discharged. How do you know it's a gun range and not somebody defending their house against a rabid snake? Aaron says, only 15? Right? A gun range is usually full of people. Aaron says, LOL. Amy says, Indianapolis. Oh, my bad. We're both wrong.
Indianapolis is Indiana.
Oh. I knew that.
God. Give you credit. Indianapolis is Indiana.
Yes. Indianapolis is not Indiana. It's in Indiana. Amber says, seriously, 6 more just now. Well, at least you should feel safe. At least you know there's an army outside your house. As long as they don't point in your direction, you're good. Aaron says, red, really eaten daily. I like it. Amber says a bunch of smileys, and Aaron says, and there it goes. I don't fat shame people at all, but it was 3 girls, teenage girls, that came to my work, and you have to get weighed to go on the ride to make sure you're not over it. They weighed 1,400 pounds for 3. Wow. That's not fat shaming. That's concern for life. 1,400 pounds. Let's do a little math here.
That means all of them weighed over 300 pounds. 3 times 3 is 9.
Each one weighed 466 pounds. Wow. Were they bringing carry-on? Jesus Christ. Amber says, Miss Hammer is correct. Pooh Bear life with house shoes.
Yes. I don't get dressed unless I have to.
What are we talking about?
Running around in pajamas.
Did you say that?
We were talking about it earlier. Being comfortable in something. I don't remember what it was now, but.
Was I present for this conversation?
Yeah.
I don't remember it. When was this happening?
Earlier.
Today?
Yeah.
Like now?
Like, yeah.
I did not hear that part of the conversation. What was I doing?
You were reading the chat. You want to make me go back and find it?
No, I believe you. Boy, my brain is slipping.
Bad.
Aaron says, people. I know, right? Jesus. Treadmill? That's the ride you want to be on. Stairmaster or something. Jesus Christ. If I ever weigh 460 pounds, if I cross the 300 threshold, shoot me between the eyes, please. Something is badly wrong. You should not be that big. And if you are that big, I'm not being mean to you. I'm just telling you, you're in danger of dying. You need to do something. I know some people have problems where they can't do it. I'm not being mean to you. I'm just telling you, for average living, that is not a good place to be. You need to fix that if you can. If you can't, God help you. If you are a healthy individual, otherwise, there is no reason for you to be that size. None whatsoever. Something got you there that should not have happened in your life. And you need to correct it before you lose it. And mark my words, you will lose it if you're that size. Amber says, anyone else have to have shoes for the house? Like it's a thing. That's me.
Well, I wear house shoes. I have inside slippers and outside slippers. So yes, I don't like my feet touching nothing.
Let me be clear. I'm wearing slippers like a man because my feet are cold. But I assure you that if I did not want them on my feet, they would not be on my feet. I walk around barefooted in the house at my leisure. I do not go outside barefooted because I'm a man, but it's dirty out there.
No, I'm very particular about my feet. I have very soft feet, and I don't want them getting all scarred up and rough feeling and cracked heels and all that stuff. So
like mine.
I keep my feet in something.
Yeah, I don't believe in making people wear shoes in my house and that sort of thing. That's retarded. If you want to walk around barefooted, be my guest. You want to have shoes on, be my guest.
I mean, but like the bathroom is just on the other side of our bedroom door, so I will go from the bedroom to the bathroom with no shoes on, but that's about as far as I go.
Any filth that is in my house came from me, so I'm not worried about stepping on it. Aaron says, LOL, ads for Jake's show is him. Really?
Hims.
Hims?
Yeah. The Hims pills.
Oh, what is that?
The pills, the testosterone and
Nice.
the hair pills and sex pills and all that stuff.
You got it, baby. If I got to make money off of something, I'm glad it's that. Aaron says, I watched it, so he makes money. Thank you, sir. I appreciate that very much. I appreciate it very, very much. This is a rough time of year, so watch all the ads you can. Thank you. I play them after the show. I play them for at least till they stop. Every time. So you're not in this alone is what I'm saying. I do it too. Amy says, I ate some for lunch, and I'm going to eat more very shortly. Pineapples. Got it. Amy says, roll it around, pressing firmly until the pineapple pops. And then the little individual spears come out. Nice. I didn't think about that. You could do that with a head of lettuce, just bang it on the counter and pull the core out.
Yeah.
Amy says, same result as Amanda described. Amber says, I love pineapple and mayo sandwiches. Blech. Pineapple from the can sliced. All right, you're getting a little crazy there with the mayonnaise. Cottage cheese now. Now we're talking.
Ew. Rotten milk.
It is not rotten milk. It's pasteurized, depasteurized milk.
It is rotten curdled milk.
No, that's whey. Curds are not rotten. Whey is rotten. Yeah. And cottage cheese is just curds. Eat your curds and whey. You never heard that?
Curdled milk.
No. Yes, but
Yes, it's curdled
done
milk.
on purpose. It's not rotten.
I don't care. It's curdled milk.
You add a little vinegar to the milk and it curds.
Blech.
They do it on. There's a never
No,
mind. There's
no.
a system. It's not rotten.
I understand there's a system. It's still disgusting. I can't get past the thought that it's curdled milk.
But it's curdled on purpose.
I don't care. It's chunky and nasty and bleh.
And it don't keep very long. It has to be very fresh
Yeah.
and very cold.
Blech.
I agree. But you can acquire a taste to it. I used to be just like you. I couldn't even look at it. But after I got past that, it actually is a good flavor.
My mama used to eat that stuff all the time. That and that damn, what's that meat called in the yellow wrapper that comes in a circle?
In a yellow wrapper.
Yeah, it comes in a roll like a bologna, but
Oh,
it's
you're
small.
talking about sow's meat hang on, I got you.
Starts
it's
with
German.
Yes, it starts with a C, I think.
It's German. I can't think of what it's called. Brauswager. That's it. Brunswager.
Brown, yeah, something like that. Brunswager, yeah,
Brauswager, something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a German thing.
Ugh, that stuff is nasty too.
Liverwurst. Yeah, that's what it is. Hi, Linda. Madison's here. She says, hello, Jake. How are you? I am fine. How are you? Happy New Year. I hope you had a good one.
You skipped one of Aaron's.
And did I? I thought I just read Aaron.
The LOL Amanda comment.
Oh, LOL Amanda. Amanda's comment, she probably eaten it at work or her lunch break. The places my mind went, ha.
She needs to keep you out of her cup holder for a while. I think that's your problem.
Madison says, hello, everyone. Judy says, hey, Madison.
Madison, hamburger helper hand.
Did you have a good New Year's Eve? Did you go partying? Did you go crazy with the Wildcats?
I think she chilled with the ladies for the weekend
Maybe.
or for the New Year's.
Aaron says, sup, MW. Debbie says, coconut is why I have a hammer and a screwdriver in my kitchen utensil drawer. Yes, get it in there any way you can. I just, I don't understand the need to wrestle with a coconut. If I want coconut, I'll just go buy a bag of shredded coconut.
It was funny. Got me a slicer for Christmas, and I made French fries with it the other night. And Jake goes, "What's wrong with the fries?" I'm like, what do you mean? What's wrong with the fries? He goes, "They're short."
They were that long.
I said, just because I cut the potato in half because I didn't know how much the slicer could handle. I didn't want to ruin the slicer. He's like, "Oh."
Just push the potato through it. It can handle it. Amber says, good evening, Madison. Welcome. Smiley face with herpes. Madison says, drinking rum. Was watching Bugs Bunny. Nice. Nah. What's up, Doc? Aaron says, what's up, Doc? Nugget's here. He says, good evening, fam. Mr. Nugget, how are you, brother? Nice to see you. How are things across the pond? How are you enjoying this new shiny year of ours? Don't forget to write 2026 from now on. Amy says, mayonnaise, pineapple, blech. But if you enjoy it that way, glitter crowns, that's awesome. Yep. It's going a little far with the mayonnaise there. Amanda?
Hamburger helper hand nugget.
Amy says, "Hi, Madison." Judy says, "Hey, Nugget." "Hey, Big John Nugget," says Amy. Madison says, "Amy." Amber says, "Nugget, I'm happy to see you." Oh. Hearts and smiley faces with herpes. Debbie says, "I have been hot in the eye with I have been hit in the eye with a peanut." Oh, never mind. Oh, never mind. Yeah, that don't count. Golden showers is another category. Also equally dangerous, but for different reasons.
I'm not so sure if she was talking about in a golden shower exactly.
What do you think is the other letter in PE?
Yeah, won't you spell that? Think about that and spell that out.
I thought about it, and both things come from the same source.
Mm-hmm. Why would you hit somebody in the eye with pee, though? Wouldn't it make more sense?
You don't like being peed on.
Wouldn't it make more sense to take it and pop it on your face?
Well, yes, but
that's where I think that's where she's at with it.
Oh yeah, but could be the other thing too, and the other thing is much more funny.
No.
Pardon me. Can't breathe. Amy says, "Madison, if I drink enough rum, I see all the Looney Tune characters." Right? Amanda says,
"LOL, Debbie. Jake does that to me too."
Pop, pop, pop. Not the golden shower thing, the other thing.
No, that's why I said I wasn't thinking golden shower. I was on the other end of that spectrum.
And Madison says, "Rum is good for the soul, Amy. Yo ho ho. And a bottle of rum. Hoes are good for the soul too." Just saying.
You gonna stop calling me a hoe? No, I'm just playing.
Yo ho ho and a bottle of rum.
You just gonna stop calling me a hoe. That's what you gonna do.
3 hoes and a bottle of rum. It was a good night.
3 hoes, a O, and a bottle of rum.
Oh. Madison said, I read that one. Amber says, "Oh my gosh. Want to be Tweety Bird. LOL. That's not Tweety Bird. That's the Twitter bird. Those are different birds. That bird ain't never tall putty tat. Never taught him tall putty tat. Don't you ever forget that. That's a Twitter bird, not a Tweety Bird. If you want to be a Tweety Bird, you need to be yellow and have a big head and a sarcastic attitude for such a little fella. Yes, Tweety Bird is a fella." And Madison says, "I'm going to go off the rails on a crazy train tonight." Yes, nice. Is there going to be any nakedity involved? Amy says, "There's the Tweety Bird." Well, that's a duck, but it's closer.
It's a chick. That's a baby chick.
Madison says February 30th, right?
Yes.
Exactly. Nugget says, "I had a couple buzz balls, chocolate, and then fell asleep. Lightweight."
LOL, right, Madison?
And what were you doing with your balls again? Buzz balls? Oh. You know those hairs are there for a reason, right?
Yeah, not to get in your mouth.
Well, also, they keep you clean and they wick sweat away from your body.
Anyway.
You ever notice that when you shave down there, it smells different? There's a reason for that. Amanda?
I already said that. LOL, right, Madison?
Okay, well, I didn't hear you. I'm reading the chat as it goes. And then it jumped, so where are we?
9 o'clock.
9 o'clock.
Amy's coming.
And all is well. Amy says, "Peacock, Peacock, Elvis." Aaron says, can you make the Aussie sound, Madison? The I. Or the all aboard. Madison says, my dad would always say that, Amanda. Whenever we used to do something he didn't want to do, he'd say, yeah, we're going February 30th. Don't be late. Here's a little trivia question. How many months have 28 days in them?
I know.
Does anybody know? Leave your answer in the comments.
I know.
The Linux, says Aaron.
That's what he's proud of you about.
Oh, the Linux. Linux, yes. Yeah, I'm getting away from Microsoft. I can't stand it. Linux is an interesting little piece of software. It's a little bit different than you're used to because you're basically, from the 80s till now, you have been thinking and seeing and breathing Microsoft. Everything is the way they designed it, and that seems normal.
So you think.
But it turns out not so much. They had the monopoly on it. But once you break away from that thinking process and you start to look at the way things are laid out and you become used to it, it makes much more sense the other way.
And little do you know that your phones and your tablets and your touchscreen stereos and your iPods and all of them are already running Linux.
Everything. The gas pump at the gas station is running on Linux.
Yep.
If it has a screen and it's not Windows, it's Linux.
Yeah. The POSs have Linux. Everything has Linux.
The radio in my truck has Linux.
That's why I said touchscreen radios.
Amy says, Madison, that's the day we all unite and boycott sweets, February 30th. Right on. As long as we don't have to give up honey buns, I'm with you. Aaron says, peacock dancing. Yeah. Amy says, boycott sweets and coffee. Never. Hell no, I won't go. Hell no, I won't go. Never. Never on February 30th or any other day will I give up coffee. I have to have it as part of, it's in my blood. It is my blood. When I run out of coffee, I just open a vein.
There's only one problem with that. You never run out of coffee.
I never open a vein either. You crazy? Amber says, seriously, as long as I hear the discharge off of a weapon, I am not the target, hopefully. Well, you can be comforted in knowing that if you are the target, you will not hear it discharge. Just so you know. So don't ever fear the sound of a gun, because if it's aimed at you, you won't hear it. Or anything else. Amy says, that's huge. Huge. It's one of those Donald Trump bigs. Bigly. Huge. Bigly. Aaron says, maybe they have a mountain lion or a bear if you're in the mountains. Maybe. Nugget says, prayers for Switzerland ski resort. The fire, 47 passed and 115 injured. Well, that's terrible. What happened in Switzerland? I have not heard about this, but yes, prayers for them. Amy says, pounds or kilograms of, what are we talking about? Oh, the big women? Pounds. Linda Davis is here. Good evening, all. Hi, Linda. Happy New Year. Are you enjoying the 2026 so far? Amber says, here, Jake, hit the doobie. No. Miss Hammer, he's just in shock because of the fat people. That's not fat. I'm sorry. I don't have anything against people that have a little weight. That is not fat. that is morbidly obese, and there's no reason for that. There is exactly 2 ways to get that big, and one of them is genetic, and the other one is pure laziness. Now, would you like to do a Venn diagram of how many you think are genetically that way versus how many are that way because they are just sorry? See how big the little sliver in the middle is? Aaron says, like 340. Nope. You said there were 3 of them and it was 1,400 pounds. That was 466.6 divided by 3. Or times 3. Yeah, 1,400. Either way, too big. You can't ride the ride. It's going to stop in the middle.
Linda, hamburger helper hand.
Hamburger helper. Amber says, Linda, good evening. And Amy says, cookie lady. Aaron says, then they got mad because we said no and said, we fat shamed them. No, you did not fat shame them. You did the appropriate thing because that actually puts everybody else in the ride in danger. Say you let them go on that ride all at the same time and it broke down in the middle. What happens to everybody else on the ride? Yeah, I agree. That's not fat shaming. That's being appropriate. You didn't tell them they were fat. You didn't tell them they couldn't ride the ride because they were fat. You told them they didn't meet the requirements, so they couldn't ride the ride. The requirements were not set by you. They were set by the manufacturer of the ride. So let them say whatever they want to say. You're not at fault for that. And Judy says, hey, Linda. And Debbie says, Jake's feet. Phew, OMG, I needed that. Aw. You can have all the feet you want. And Aaron says, Jake's treadmill speech on crying. Aaron says, smiley, smiley, smiley. And Linda says, unless it came from Tribble. Smiley, shit.
No, she's on the porch.
Yeah, she's on the porch. What are we talking about?
She don't. No, we have carpet in the house. She's not allowed in the house. She can't hold her butt in the house. No, ma'am.
Amber says, the first memory I have after the seizures is the old nurse lady talking about leg loss due to stepping on something in the house or a hangnail.
Rip
start. Type 1 diabetic life. Blah. Yeah, if you're type 1 diabetic, you got to take care of your feet. That's for sure. What's that got to do with seizures, though? Did you have a seizure because you're diabetic? Or are you epileptic? Or what's the deal? Madison says, I'm sorry. This is a topic I am super opinionated on. The creation of plus-size models started a huge spike in obesity. I work extremely hard to keep myself in shape. It's laziness. I understand, and you don't have to be opinionated about reality, right? This day and time, people are way too sensitive and way too offended by every little thing that doesn't exactly meet their own standards of themselves. You're not going to get that on this channel. Occasionally, I'm going to talk about something that's going to offend you because I have a rigid ideology. It's very rigid. I believe what I believe to be true, and I live my life according to those rules. That means somebody somewhere is not going to fit in that rigidity. That means I'm going to offend you. I don't mean to offend you. I'm not being mean to you. It's just the truth as I see it. And as I see it, there is no reason on planet Earth to be that large unless there's something wrong. If there's something wrong, you have my empathy. There are things we can do to mitigate that, even if you can't do the things that most people do to mitigate that. But the chances of there being something wrong is about 60-40, right? There is things in the world that cause people to have problems. 90% of the time, though, or rather 70% of the time, 60% of the time, something like that, whatever I just said a minute ago, I totally believe in that. You can get up and do something. and fix it. If you don't, it's because you won't. It's not because you can't. Those are different things. Now, personally, I grew up in the decade of pull yourself up by your bootstraps, make something of yourself. I'm a man. I was thrown to the wolves at an early age, and I sank or swam. Obviously, I swam because I didn't starve to death, and here I am. And I believe if I can do that, you can do that. I worked very hard to maintain my shape also. Round is a shape. When I was 18, I had the body of a Greek god. I'm pushing 51 now. Pushing 52 now. And I have the body of a Chinese god. That being said, I agree with you. This celebration of plus size is not the right way to go about it. Yes, there's a lot of plus size people in the world. Yes, you don't look like a magazine cover. There's a reason for that. That's fantasy. This is reality. If you judge yourself based on something that's not real, you shouldn't be surprised that you can't attain those goals. It's not real. Real people have varying shapes and sizes. This is not a condemnation on people that are overweight. Overweight is understandable. There's a lot of good food out there, and the world is hard, and age creeps up on you. If you are 466 pounds of blubber, you did that to yourself, and you need to get off of your ass and do something about it now. That's my opinion. And I hear you, Madison. And you keep on working hard to keep your shape. I bet you're beautiful and you deserve every inch of it. And Madison says, I'm also drunk and baked, so I can't be held accountable for my mouth tonight. I hear you, honey. I'm neither of those things, and I am absolutely going to say things I shouldn't. And Aaron says, I just felt concern and sadness for him. Yes, I understand. And again, that's not a condemnation of them. It's a condemnation of their situation, and they should change it. They have the ability to. If they can be out riding rides, they can go out and walk on a treadmill or do some exercises or diet. Madison says the rum is extra tasty, I bet. And Judy says, LOL, Madison. And John says, orange and milk. Yuck. Yeah. Unless it's an orange Julius, then it's worth it. Promise. Oh, yeah. And Debbie says, cottage cheese is good. And that's okay, Amanda. That leaves more for me, right? I like cottage cheese, too. I understand why she doesn't like it, but, you know. Yeah, ricotta is also curdled milk, says Linda. So is, what's that one they put on pizza?
Mozzarella?
Mozzarella.
No, that's not curdled milk.
I bet it is.
I bet it ain't.
I bet it is. Do you know how you make cheese?
There's a bunch of processes of making cheese, but it's not from curdled milk.
Aaron says, LOL, I picture Madison drinking rum like one of the Pirates of the Caribbean because they all like rum on her little pirate ship. Yo ho ho. Debbie says Braunschweiger, something like that. Braunschweiger. I can't remember what it's called, but it's something like that, yeah. It is a liverwurst. And there's also souse, which is the pork version of that. And both of those are gross. I'm going to have to go to the grocery store tomorrow and find it so I know what it's called. But
it's called hold on and I'll look it up.
Yeah, look it up.
Hold on, I'm trying to get this.
That's right. We have Google. Google it. Jamie, pull that up. And Linda says, yes, Aaron. Aaron says, so why protein is rotten milk? Whey. Yes, whey is rotten milk. Debbie says, I like Braunschweiger. or whatever it's called, with mayonnaise and sliced onions. Dang, I will eat your share, Amanda. Right on. Aaron says pickled milk. Kind of, yeah. Madison says Pirates of the Caribbean is my favorite. I used to watch it with Vic all the time, which is also why I think Vic fell in love with Mabel, because she reminds me of Keira Knightley, Elizabeth Swann. Yeah, kind of. I see what you're saying. I've seen a picture of her. Linda says, whey is what is separated from milk solids. Right on. Aaron says, souse, S-A-U-S-E. It looks like sauce, souse. Might have an L in it, I can't remember. But yeah, it's, I'm not sure how they make it or what it's made out of, but it's pork. And it's like in a, like a loaf, like this beef thing that we're talking about. That's right on the tip of my tongue, and I can't think of it. Starts with a B.
It's in the chat. It's Brunswager.
Is it Brunswager?
Yes.
Yeah, something like that. I was thinking there was another name for it, but I guess...
Liverwurst.
I know that, but there's another name for it. John says, it's cold, -4 degrees here. Really? Wow. Judy says 7 here, Nugget. Aaron says message retracted. I can't read it if you retract it. Aaron says stupid autocorrect. I hear you. John says I haven't turned my heating on in 5 years until tonight. If it gets regularly 4 degrees or -4 degrees, why are you not under covers and have the heat on? If it gets 20 degrees, I'm under the covers with the heat on. If it gets 30 degrees, I am. I think 50 is about as cold as I want to go. Comfortably. Aaron says, retracted due to unreadableness. Amy says it's -4 Celsius is 24 degrees Fahrenheit. Okay, but that's still pretty cold. Amanda says it's 49 degrees here tonight. You say that you're here.
I don't know where I'm at.
Yeah, you're at 49 degrees tonight.
Okay, it's 49 degrees tonight.
Aaron says, I need to go fishing soon. Can you fish at this temperature?
Yeah, he's in Florida.
I guess fish don't huddle up when it's cold, huh? And Madison says, my house, my rules. No shoes, no shirt, no problem. That goes for you too, honey. Hold me to a standard. We could be walking around topless.
Walking around naked.
That's right. Madison says, I wish I lived far out of town like Mabel. I'd be naked all the time. I hear you. Well, believe it or not, that's a young person's thing. When I was young, I slept naked, and I loved being naked, and I was naked all the time, and I had naked girls around me all the time, and I just loved it. The older I get, though, I keep having this thought in my head when I sit up. My naked ass is on this sheet where I lay my head. I'm dragging my balls across the sheet where I'm going to be laying soon. So, shorts go on. It's just, when you get older, you can't be naked anymore. It's just a thing. All right, now my chat's jumped.
9:17.
There it is. Judy says, -4 Celsius here. Crazy. Aaron says, LOL, ask R. Kelly, TP King, right? I'm going to pee on you. Why did the duck get arrested at the restaurant? I don't know. Why? Because he was doing quack in the bathroom, says Madison. I like it. Aaron says, LOL, that's great, but no.
All of them
All of them what?
have 28 days.
Yes. Aaron says, because he was Peking duck. He was a Peking duck. A Peking duck.
Peking.
It's Peking.
And that's what I know, but it's a Peking.
No, Peking. Like Beijing.
Yes, but I believe it's pronounced Peiking.
No, it's Peking. You're thinking about my pay. Amy says, all of them. Yes, all of them. Linda says, 12. Yes, all of them.
Yeah, Peking.
Peking. Yes. Amber says, coffee time. I still got a couple sips. Madison says, in 20 years, when Jake says, I'm out of coffee, instead of Amanda filling his cup, she'll be switching his caffeine IV bag. 20 years. That might be like next week. I'm like on borrowed time here. What?
Nothing.
Kevin Bernard says, greetings, everybody. Hey, Kevin. Nice to see you, brother. Happy New Year. Are you enjoying the 2026 so far? We're just talking about getting Madison naked. Wait,
No,
what?
Madison was talking about getting Madison naked. You dirty old man.
If that's all I knew it took to get her out of her pants. I'm just kidding. Judy says, hey, Kevin.
Linda. Capricorn.
Capricorn.
T-minus 3 days. Capricorns rule.
Your birthday's in 3 days?
Linda's is, yes.
Oh, Linda's is, yeah. I do have that written down. Hey, Linda, your birthday's in 3 days.
She's a Capricorn. She's 6 days before me.
Capricorn. I got to get busy on some presents.
Yeah.
Kevin says, Judy, hamburger helper hand. And hello, Jake and Amanda. Hi, Kev. Nice to see you, brother. Old St. Bernard.
Hamburger helper hand, Kevin.
Aaron says, 25,600 minutes. End at midnight on January 1st. From 525,600 minutes. What is that? Is that the whole year? Is that what you're saying? That number sounds familiar, but I can't place it. Linda says, yep, Amanda. Shh. Linda says, hi, Kevin. Mr. P says, good evening, everyone. Jake, Mr. P, nice to see you, brother. Happy New Year. How are you enjoying 2026? Kevin says, Aaron and Linda, hamburger helper hand.
Mr. P, hamburger helper hand.
And Kevin says, hamburger helper hand, John. Linda says, hey, Mr. P. And Judy says, hey, John. Aaron says, hi, Kevin, with the naked turkey hand with no head and no feet. And Judy says, oops, John P. Amy says, St. Bernard. Kevin says, hamburger helper hand, Amy. Mr. P says, I think I might change my name back to John Anthony. It is my name, after all. You do as you like, Mr. P. I'll call you whatever you want me to call you. As long as I don't get you confused with somebody else. And Madison says, or plane tickets. I'm sorry. Why is someone that is the equivalent of three of me and takes up 2 seats able to get away with paying for 1 ticket? I agree with that 100%. Especially considering the fact that everything about a plane involves weight. I mean, they carefully account for every ounce that goes on a plane to the point that if your bag is too big, you can't carry it up top with you. It has to go under the bottom and stowed away because it changes the dynamic of the weight of the plane. And you're going to tell me that that person that is now sitting across 2 seats ain't a problem? Do you have one for the other side? That's what I'm asking. Watch my Hyperbole episode 4, I think it is. I have an answer for that. 4 or 5. It's the F around and find out episode. Check it out. And Judy says, John A. Amy says, hi, Mr. P. And Aaron says, LOL, Madison, you ain't right, LOL. And she is right, actually. Nugget says, no need, John, if everybody calls me Nugget anyway. Well, we love you both, so whatever it takes. And Madison says, I am right, though that's the problem. I wish I was wrong, right? Kevin says, hamburger helper hand, Madison. Madison says, hello, Kevin. And John says, last name starts with a F. It's not the end of the world or nothing, but I would like to go by one name, though. The one I was born into. One name, you mean like John? I'll call you John and just call him Nugget. If I can remember. Amy says, look at frenzy. That's this, look at frenzy that the skinny model in jeans caused. Oh, look at the frenzy the skinny model in jeans caused. She got good genes. That had nothing to do with her size. That's because she was a racist that was putting out Nazi propaganda, according to the left. Because it had everything to do with her size. Yeah, she looked good in those jeans. She didn't do anything wrong. That's how you've been selling jeans for 1,000 years, or however long.
Except for the fact she has no ass at all.
Hey, whatever. You say what you want to say. She pulled them G's off quite nicely. And that's why everybody freaked out about it.
With no ass.
And the bottom line is, how dare they sell something to somebody that looks good when body positivity is all the rage? If you ever want to put an end to the body positivity thing, the next time you meet a girl that is talking about how brave and stunning and beautiful these people are, just tell her in a nonchalant way that she reminds you of Lizzo and watch her attitude change. When you see that she really doesn't believe that, then you can understand that this is all propaganda and it's done to subvert reality, to flip everything upside down, to keep everything in chaos. I thought you said she was stunning and brave and beautiful. Aren't you stunning, brave, and beautiful? Do you not want to be stunning, brave, and beautiful? Because you kind of look like Lizzo. Oh, that makes you mad. Why? And Lizzo lost a bunch of weight, by the way. She looks great now, actually.
Surgery does a miracle on people.
It doesn't matter how you got there. The only thing that matters is that you try. Nobody ever asked me how I won a fight. They only asked me if I won the fight. Nobody ever asked how. John says, last name starts... Oh, I read that one. Sorry. And Judy says, what would you like me to call you, Mr. P? John P? I think he wants you to call him John. Madison says, I get the health condition side, but there are no shortages of able-bodied, overweight people who use excuse after excuse. For them, being fat is an excuse to get fatter. And advertising these days. Yes, that was my point originally. I'm not talking about people that can't help it. I'm not talking about people that have extenuating circumstances. There are a large number of people that are that way because of their poor attitude in life, their poor outlook on themselves, lack of self-esteem, drama, trauma, whatever you want to call it. They did it to themselves. And then they reach the age of accountability and it's too late. Now you can't go back. So you either take that as an identity or you hate yourself. That's why it starts. So they take it as an identity. They claim to be proud of it. They are not. It's an act. Nobody wants to be that size. If they tell you to do, they're lying to you. The only thing working hard in their life, though, is their heart. If they would actually put a little effort into it, a lot of that would change drastically, very quickly, like within a year. It's going to take a little time, though. The rule of thumb is if it took you 5 years to get that way, it's going to take half that long to get away from being that way. Madison says, caters to laziness. It's the everyone gets a medal bullshit. Yes, and it ain't just about weight. It goes in every category where people don't show up to do their job and still get rewarded for it. It's about victim mentality. It's about putting in no effort and gaining something out of it. That's what they're trying to make the world, a place where you can show up and do nothing and get the same thing everybody else gets. And I'm sorry, that's not the world we live in. That's communism. We live in a meritocratic world where you get according to your worth. Meritocracy is everything. And Linda says, sorry, John, I knew you as Mr. P, but I love the name Anthony, smiley face. And John says, I still have the body of a Greek god. Just so happens it's Dionysus. Yeah. Can I get a little bit more of this coffee, please? Thank you very much. Kevin says, I'm an addict. I can simply not take any drug or alcohol. People with an addiction to food have to control their addiction. They can't just stop eating. Well, actually, they can. I've done so for a month. But I agree with you. In the case that we're talking about being addicted to food, and that is not the only way you get that big. That is one way. There are other ways. But in that case, it has to be treated like an addiction. It can't just, But it starts with, and I'll tell you the truth about this. Number one, you have to want to change. If you can't want to change, you're not going to. Same thing with any other kind of addiction, which usually means hitting rock bottom and having no other option but to desire change. Once that happens, you have to figure out what the problem is and admit it to yourself. And then you have to start taking steps to alter that problem. And that is not an easy task, but it is a task that is doable. And that's what we're talking about, is that portion of it. The lack of desire to do anything about it versus people that can actually make something happen. And I just have no sympathy for people that cannot rule their own lives. I have a little sympathy for them, but not much. And it's because we're all given the same opportunity. We have the same gray matter and the same lifespan, relatively speaking, notwithstanding illnesses and things that you can't control, obviously. And those things are worth a conversation, and those things are very different circumstances. But we're talking about able-bodied people that have just let go so much that they're out of control. It may be an eating a disorder. It may be drugs and alcohol. It may be pure laziness. It may be genetic. But I've seen some genetically big people that had very good shapes. If you think I'm wrong, just go look at that girl that was in Star Wars, the MMA fighter. I can't think of her name right off the top of my head. Black-haired girl. Big girl. She's easily 250 pounds. Easily. She looks great. She just does. And she carries it well. That's the whole thing right there. You got to carry it the right way. But I don't disagree with you, Kevin. There is a thing that you have to take it one step at a time and deal with it appropriately, because it can be a psychological problem. Amber says, back with coffee. Nice, me too. Got a fresh cup right here. And John says, Dionysus is heavy. I got it. Aaron says, what's February 30th? Non-existent. Doesn't exist. Amy says, Blair White features those body positivity models, a.k.a. plus-size models, and shows their death certificates. Comorbidities cause multiple health problems that shorten life expectancy. Yes. And when you're that big, you have no defense against those comorbidities. Because it is a healthy body that can fight those things. Blair White is the based transgender chick. I actually like her mentality. I've listened to her a little bit. Pretty smart guy. Girl. Kevin says, hamburger helper and Amber. Amanda.
There is no February 30th, Aaron, ever.
But there is a February 29th every 4 years.
Yep.
And that's the joke, yes. You got it, dude. Sorry, my voice is crapping out on me. Amy says, mukbang challenges should be banned. I agree. You ever watch one of those videos? It's disgusting. That's a problem. Where the guy pulls out a salad bowl, puts it on his table, fills it full of Oreo cookies and milk, and then starts eating it like cereal. You have a problem, sir. That problem is your fault. No ifs, ands, or buts about it.
Or he dumps a pack of Oreo cookies and 2 boxes of cereal and a gallon of milk.
Yeah. And you'll notice the sexual sounds that he makes with his face while he's eating. This is not about food. This is a mental disorder where they derive pleasure from eating themselves to death. Amber says, Aaron, it's the day of the never wary. Doesn't exist. Sarcasm as day of when willing to do something. Right. Madison says, not a fan of Blair White. She changes her mind more than I change my socks. Well, I haven't followed her intently, but what I've heard I liked. But it's been a year or so ago since I've heard her, so. Mainly, I like the fact that she was against children getting involved in that lifestyle. Mainly. That's the subject matter we were discussing when I was listening to her. Aaron says, I was born February 30th, 1999 and a half. All right. Amanda?
Yes, Aaron.
Amy says, she changed more than that. LOL. Oh, she did, yeah. Who's Blair White? Is a transgender public figure. I don't know what she does, but she's on the conservative side of things. She hangs out with the likes of Dave Rubin and Tim Pool and people like that. Not really somebody I listen to, but I have heard her speak in context with other things that were going on. And from what I heard, I liked her, but I haven't really followed her enough to know where she stands on everything. I'm really not into the whole transgender things. I don't care for that whole lifestyle. But there's a couple of them. Another guy's name is something Star, John Star, something like that. Lime green hair, lots of wicked fingernails, but against children being involved in that lifestyle.
Talking about Jeffrey?
Jeffree Star. That might be right.
The guy that dresses the cross dresses and doesn't agree with how they're letting kids do all that stuff?
Yeah.
Yes, Jeffrey.
So both of those people are in kind of a opposition to the rest of the people that dress like that. So, you know, I've always been a fan of the idea that you're grown, you do whatever you want to do. Just don't get any of it on me and we're cool. I don't care how you dress or who you sleep with. It's none of my business. Leave the kids out of it, though. They can't help it, and you are grooming them when you actively pursue them to drag them into your ideology because you can't procreate. That's the reason they do it. It's evil, and I'm against it. But as far as what you do, hey, knock yourself out. That's what you like. I don't have to be a part of it, though. It's when you start forcing me to change my reality because you want to change yours, that's where we have an issue. Amber says, good evening, big dog. Smiley face. Aaron says, what a crazy name. Madison says, yes, Amanda, OMG, preach, sister. Why are we promoting people stuffing their faces and feeding their addictions? And why are they being directed towards young people? Why would you even want to watch? I agree with that. But listen, there's all kinds of people in the world, and I'm okay with that. And it ain't none of my business, really, unless you ask me. And however this conversation came up. The biggest reason that they're after the children is because they can't create anything. So they have to co-opt people into their thing so that it can keep going. Otherwise, we would breed them out and they just wouldn't exist anymore. The reason that they still exist is because people keep finding ways to get younger people to get involved in these things. And unfortunately, it's very bad for people to have this kind of lifestyle in more ways than one. I really wish there was an answer. The only answer I know of is to speak truthfully about it and to be blunt. So I do. And it comes across as me being a little harsh. I'm not harsh. I'm very forgiving and very understanding, and I'm here to help. But if I lie to you, that's worse on you than if I tell you the truth. I'm not being harsh. I'm not trying to be rude or mean, but it is the truth. And if you're going to hang out with me, you got to be able to see the truth. Amy says, Aaron, Blair White was in a Tom McDonald video. I like Tom McDonald. I have listened to him. Amanda?
You can read that. There's 3 of them.
Braunschweiger is a type of smoked pork liver sausage originating from Germany that is known for its smooth, spreadable texture and rich, savory flavor. Often made with pork liver, bacon, and seasoning like onions and pepper. It's typically served as a spread on crackers or bread or sandwiches, or as part of a charcuterie board, and is distinct from liverwurst, which is generally not smoked. Mozzarella cheese is traditionally made from water. Okay, you read that one then.
Hold on, I think there's still, no, you were right. That's it, yeah. It's the mozzarella cheese. It's a 3-parter then. You got to go back and read Aaron.
I'm working on it. Aaron says they have people that have whole channels doing that. They call them mukbang. Yep, a mukbang video. And they go buy a lunch or an overpriced food and sit in front of a camera and freaking chew extra loud into the microphone. Yes. And then make a lot of face noises.
And then he says, and then they throw half of it away. At least it's so wasteful.
Well, the whole idea is the grotesque nature of eating. And there's some kind of sick, perverted attraction to that. And I'm not sure what it is, but a lot of people actually like that. Same thing with ASMR. There's some kind of weird brain thing that goes on with people that like that. It's not for me. I'm unhealthy for a lot of reasons, but being overweight ain't one of them. Aaron says, and then they throw half of it away. At least it's so wasteful, right? Amanda?
Mozzarella cheese is traditionally made from water buffalo milk. For authentic Italian mozzarella di buffalo or cow's milk, using the pasta spalata,
That's the
spun
from the penis.
spun paste method where curds are heated, stretched, and kneaded to create its signature soft, elastic, stringy texture before being shaped and brined. While fresh, high moisture versions are common, low moisture industrial mozzarella is for pizzas and is often cow's milk based and processed for longer shelf life.
You missed the part where how they processed it.
No, I didn't.
How do they process it?
They stretch it.
That's not processing. That's shaping.
Anyway.
How do they process it?
What do you mean they process?
They age it.
Everything is aged.
Well, they age it until it's past its not rotten stage. Thus proving my point.
Anyway.
Okay. Aaron says, I'm built like Chinese steel. You mean you're shiny and sharp, but you break at the first sign of stress? Wait, what? I'm teasing, buddy. Chinese steel, yeah. Amanda says, oh, you read that one. And you read that one. Okay. Aaron says, but that shit tastes good. It does. Madison says, I love cheese. I know, me too.
Me too, Madison.
Aaron says, cheese is fabulous. You're going to make me hate that word. Aaron says, mold? Yes. But most cheeses get mold on them before they ship it. Yeah.
No, I die.
You don't need to go look at how cheese is made.
I die if I eat moldy cheese.
No, you don't.
Yes, I will.
No, you won't.
Okay.
If you eat cheese at all, you're eating moldy cheese.
If the cheese has got penicillin on it, I'm dead.
Penicillin comes from a type of mold, yes. Not necessarily the type of mold that grows on cheese. But if you want to know, go look at how they age cheese. Debbie says Braunschweiger is sold in a chunk, but it is sliced, and the package calls it liver cheese, but it is still the same stuff. The stuff I'm talking about has like a cheese wrapping around it, and it's got the meat in the middle. You know what I'm talking about?
No.
Yeah.
This is in a yellow thing. It's a little bit bigger than a pepperoni roll. And it's got a yellow plastic over it, and you just I think it does kind of have a skin on it too. Now that I think about it, a red skin.
Sorry, my chat jumped. Where we?
I don't know. My mom used to eat it like crazy. 937.
937.
Amber comment.
In the year 3000. There we are. Amber says, I could easily live with naked people, no problem. Oh, I enjoy nakedity too. Don't get me wrong. There's nothing wrong with being naked. That's the way God made us originally. I don't know if you know this or not, but you're born naked and illiterate. Kevin says, I tried to make mozzarella cheese once. I read the directions wrong and didn't turn off the burner, and it came out like bubble gum. Nice. I gave it to my pit bull. Kept him busy for a while.
I bet.
Yeah. I tried to make that cheese you get at the Mexican restaurant.
Queso?
So I bought the queso cheese block, and I tried to melt it. It did not work out right. It just turned into like cheese-flavored caramel. Anyway, kudos to the people that make that warm cheese you get at the Mexican restaurant. That's great stuff, and it is queso. I just don't know how they do it.
It's easy.
It eluded me in my 20s. Amy says, mukbang is a genre in which the individual eats excessive amounts of food, and the viewers encourage overindulgence, and they usually pass away from obesity young. Yes, unfortunately. So those body positivity people that say that fat is beautiful and it's healthy, they usually all die early too.
You guys know that one guy, he was in his late 20s or early 30s. He was in a lot of the TikTok videos and stuff, and people would be doing something, and all of a sudden he would pop in there as a real big guy with a beard and mustache and kind of scruffy looking.
Yep.
He died not too long ago.
Unfortunately, that's the pathway that they choose, and that's what I mean when I say they did this to themselves, because this is a thing that they can control and choose not to. And I'm not a hypocrite, by the way. I did it to myself too, the very thing that I'm dying from. So I'm not a hypocrite. I am aware of that, but I can live long enough to tell you, don't do this to yourself. It's bad. And Linda says, LOL, Kevin. Bill Bennett says, it's in the 20s here in Indiana, and I work outside most days, but froze last night and cold as can be today. I'm not sure why. Because it's cold. Turn your heat on, put some gloves on, double up on the pants.
Because it's January.
You know how to put sweatpants on underneath your blue jeans? Do that. And wear your shirt and an overcoat. Put on 2 pairs of socks, and you'll be good. You'll survive, I promise. I've spent many a days out there in the elements where I could have died of consumption but didn't, because you got to watch out for yourself. Kevin says, hamburger helper hand, Bill. Amber says, Bill, good evening, friend. Cool smiley faces and a kissy face. Kevin says, Linda, do you make your own wand? Do you make your own wand? Or do you make your own?
That's crazy. Will you believe it will not let me type the word gypsy?
Gypsy? Really?
Will not let me.
Back up and try again. Steal a vowel and try again. Wait, what? Why are you trying to type the word gypsy?
Because I'm trying to respond to a comment that he made, and I can't.
Oh, is it Gypsy Gorilla here?
Yes.
Hey, Gypsy Gorilla.
I tried to say hi and just say gypsy. It wouldn't let me say gypsy.
Hey, I don't mean to be overbearing you with drama or anything, but look at that thing in front of your face.
Yeah.
It's called a microphone.
Yeah.
Say hello, Gypsy, in it.
Oh, you were...
Say hello, Gypsy.
Hi, gypsy.
Now you've typed it. Congratulations.
It's still way down. Just do what you're doing.
I'm doing it. Amy says, Bill, how about those ℂ𝕙𝕬𝕝? Judy says, hey, Bill. Amber says, lots of smiley faces, go dogs. And hearts. Go dogs. Amy says, Pekin duck. It's smiling at us. Knife. Right on. Aaron says, hog head cheese is nasty and it looks like crap. Hog head cheese? Don't think I've had that before. Madison says, yes, you are. Judy says, sounds nasty, Aaron. Kevin says, wait, what? Madison got naked and I missed it? Oh, Madison says, getting naked for me, myself, and I. Oh, well, fine. Don't share then. Be that way. Linda says, I have done ricotta before, not mozzarella. Do you put vinegar in it to make it curdle, or is that just a wives' tale? I don't know. I'm asking for a friend. Amy says, who's? But I spelled it so Jake would pronounce it right. Aaron says, it's 30 at night, 60 during the day, till it's not that bad. And this time of year, you get like the wintertime fish by the bridges, like sheepheads and stuff like that. Oh, I hear you. So you're doing like the cane pole type fishing off the bridge. I got you. And Kevin says, Linda, nothing better than fresh, warm mozzarella. That is true. It's delicious. Amber says burb. And Amy says mozzarella. Isn't that what I said? Aaron says Dragon Balls across the sheets. That's what you think about when you start getting old. Aaron says Jake is the original Dragon Ball Z. Something. Until you said that, I never even thought about it that way. But now that you mention it, the guy that invented that was definitely an old fella that liked to sleep naked in his youth. Madison says, Aaron, BMW M4 or Mercedes AMG GT?
No, Aaron. Now he just walks in and drops them on your leg.
Aaron says M4. Yes, I do. Plop, plop. Fizz, fizz. Oh, what a thrill it is. Wait, that's Tums. Old people.
No, that's
Alka-Seltzer.
Alka-Seltzer.
Tums is Tums. Tum, 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 tum. Got it. The hell? I got it. I figured it out.
They had adult proof in the cigarette packs.
Yes.
Yeah, I went in and got them for you. I'm not opening them for you, too.
I can handle it. Aaron says it's an M4. Kevin says the only bag the airline didn't complain about was my ex-wife. I hear that. Madison says, I've had an F-Type for 3 years now, and I love it, but I want another car, LOL. Judy says, LOL, Kevin. Aaron says, Peking. Play on words. Yes, I got it. I did catch the joke. And Madison says the new GT looks really cute, though. But this generation of M4 is the only one I've liked. I don't know which car that is.
BMW.
BMW. Yeah. I like the one that was in the movie Transporter. Is that an Audi?
Yes. Audi 5, I think. A5 or something like that.
That was a cool car. Tough looking car. And Aaron says, same here, Madison. Linda says, Amy, I can't spell words I grew up here and pronounced differently. And Amy says, upside down, heart butt. Upside down, heart butt.
I think she's talking about Sydney's no butt.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, she does have a butt. It's
She
just
does
not a traditional butt.
It's flat.
It's not flat.
She
it's
has
just,
no ass.
It's low hung.
There is no curvature to her ass at all.
I don't like big asses, so that's all right with me.
There's no curvature. It's flat. Looks like she's got a phone in each pocket.
That was the pants.
No, it's that not. If you go look at any of her pictures, they're like that. She has no
I
ass.
don't particularly like her shape as far as my desire, my taste. She's not the build that I like, but there's nothing wrong with her. She's a attractive young lady. That's not really my thing, but I wouldn't say she didn't have any ass. She definitely has something. She's working something over there. Aaron says that thing moves like a stripper too. Oh, yeah? And Madison says, I feel so based driving a BMW, though. I'm out. Well, I can't afford a BMW, so I stay away from them. I'm happy to have my Ford. Aaron says, oh, why? It's just a car. This is true. But cars are very much status symbols and a mark of success, especially in the younger generations. Now, the way I grew up, I'm a construction worker from way back. I've been a hard worker all my life. And in my opinion, a beat-up old truck is way more of a status symbol than a nice, shiny new car. In my opinion, that's a thing you can't fix. It's problems, right? I want something you can work on, something you can buy parts for in every town, something that's cheap, something that's economical. To me, that's a symbol of success. A car that has mostly plastic parts, low to the ground, a bunch of stuff under the hood that has nothing to do with nothing other than nonsense, that seems like a job to me that's going to cost way more to fix than it's worth.
Most people driving them type of vehicles, though, by the time it needs anything, they're trading it in for another one.
I understand that. I'm just telling you how I was raised to think. I'm not saying it's right. That's just how I think. Obviously, I missed the day in school where they taught you how to make a living and make money, because I tend to do things like this for a living, and it doesn't pay off that much. It doesn't occasionally, but not much. But my point is, there's different kinds of people in the world, and they have different agendas and different needs and different tastes. And I was on that side of it. So everything I do is based on what I learned growing up in that environment.
LOL, Madison, your car is all-wheel drive and you still got it stuck. Silly girl.
Well, that don't mean nothing. All-wheel drives can get stuck.
You're missing my point. She's got a BMW, which is all-wheel drive, and she gets it stuck in the snow.
But Amy says that's the apple bottom jeans. Kind of thick thing, Aaron. Right on. Madison says, I don't know. In Alberta, so many douchebags own BMWs. I hear you. Well, what matters is how you are. It doesn't matter what you drive. Yeah, there's people that'll see you driving one and think, yeah, that girl's out of my league, or that girl is a pick-me girl, or whatever it is they think. You don't have to be that way, though. You can be whatever kind of person you want to be. And something tells me you're very independent and very strong-willed and very smart. So be that. Don't worry about what people think. That's a short, get-you-nowhere kind of life, to worry about what other people think. And in the end, you're going to end up where you end up anyway, so it doesn't really matter. Aaron says apple bottoms.
Drool and apple bottoms.
Screw them, Madison, do you, says Aaron. That's exactly my sentiment. Kevin says, my car is a 2001 Chevy Silverado dually. Amen. Mine is a 2009 Ford Explorer, Eddie Bauer edition. I'm no skimp. Amy says Kevin drives a dilly, a dually. I'd like to have a dually. One of those with a fifth wheel. Oh, yeah. I don't know what I'd do with it, but I like it. I actually want one of those big trucks like the oil rig guys drive. Big, oversized, giant pickup truck.
The F-350s?
Yeah. Like a land tank. I couldn't afford to buy gas, though. Linda says, I can appreciate when a woman is in good shape or looks good, even though I'm chubby. I'm a chubby girl. That was thin at one point in my life. Why hate her for being beautiful? Exactly. And chubby is not the same thing as morbidly obese. Nothing wrong with being a little overweight. Nothing wrong with being chubby. That's different body shapes in the world. The perfect girl is manufactured. And everybody should know that. Like when I go to watch a movie or play a video game, I am not looking for reality. I do not want to see people that represent me. I want to see what I aspire to be. I want to see what I can't be. It's fantasy for a reason. If I wanted reality, I wouldn't be at the movies. I'd be in life. So this idea that we've got to make everybody look homogenous and androgynous is retarded. Why would you do that? You're not going to sell anything that way. Unattainable is a sales point. That's what gets people excited. So go with that route. And you should appreciate young and beautiful. That's the reason it exists, to be young and beautiful. But nobody can stay that way. That's why you should chase young and beautiful. Because you can't stay that way. Enjoy it while you have it. Use it as much as you can. And then get on with being old. Hopefully you'll age gracefully. I hope I'm trying to. I've considered chasing youth and dyeing my hair and working out and trying to stay in tip-top shape and all of that stuff. But the problem is I keep getting older and older and older, and it's going to be a more and more and more and more impossible thing to do. And there's nothing sadder than an old man who hasn't figured out yet that he should stop dyeing his hair because it doesn't look very good. So I'm not going to do it. I'm just going to grow gray and take the Gandalf approach.
Or chasing things you could never have.
What do you mean?
This was like you were talking about the
unattainable?
Yeah.
Yeah.
People spend their whole life chasing things that they something they'll never get, never be able to have. And they die lonely and sad.
Yeah, this is true. I think everybody should lower their expectations by 4. The problem is people have to be honest with themselves to do that, and I really don't think people can be. I really think we're special, those of us that can be honest. For example, I am an old school 6. That's what I am. I know where I stand. I'm not above, and I'm not below. I'm not a 4. I'm a 6, if you consider me from the 70s. Back then, I would be a sex symbol. In fact, that's evident anybody that comes from that era, the way they react to me. Because that's what this look sold in those days. It does not sell in these days. Now, I'm a creepy old man, according to this generation. But that's what I am. I know what I am, and I play to my strengths. Most people, if you go out today and do a poll, you take 100 girls off the street and ask them to rate themselves from 1 to 10. Guess what answer you'll get most of all?
8 or above.
10, yes. Ridiculously overvaluing themselves. You know that's not true. You know it looking at them. They know it looking at them. But they're going to say that they're a 10. If you ask them what they should date, they will all say they want a 6-foot-tall man that makes $100,000 a year. Almost all of them. Not all of them, but almost all of them. Here's the truth, ladies. You know how many men in the world are over 6 foot tall and make $100,000 a year? 1%. And they're sleeping with all the 1% women. And that's the way it is always going to be.
And they're miserable.
And they're miserable. And they're a very small group of people that interbreed because all of the 1% sleep with all of the 1%. And they trade off. And nobody's happy. Because that's the world you live in. Figure out what you are and then shoot for what you are. Live within your means and you will find happiness. Madison says, ℂ𝕠𝕝, Amanda, yes, but I want another car. I was window shopping at Aston Martin in Calgary, but those, I think, would be an irresponsible investment right now. But that's why my ultimate that's what my ultimate goal. Madison, can you afford an Aston Martin? If you can, why are you not donating to the show? I'm just kidding. No. Can you afford an Aston Martin? Because that is a very, very expensive car. And why not a Toyota Camry?
Well, she said that
that
would be an irresponsibility investment right now.
Well, she's correct. But my question isn't based on what she said. It's based on the projection of what she's talking about. Yes, that's in my mind. And any stretch of the imagination, unless you're a millionaire, you shouldn't be driving an Aston Martin.
Well, from what I gather, she owns a BMW and a Jaguar. So I could see
she might be a millionaire.
I see an Aston Martin in there pretty soon.
Well,
or an Audi.
Congratulations then, I guess. But if you're a person of means, live within your means. If you're not, don't shoot outside of your goal. Aaron says, if it goes down, You could take out the big person and eat for weeks. Yes. Yes. And if it goes down, you can bet that's what'll happen. Judy says, I have a 2002 Mustang convertible. Nice. Amy says, fat bottom girls, you make the rockin' world go round. Yes. Yes, yes, and yes. Can I have some more of that, please? Aaron says, man facts, Amy. And Linda says, Judy, I have a Toyota Tundra. Also a very nice truck. Tough truck.
I hear you, Madison.
I've never even been near an Aston Martin, let alone been in one. Aaron says, steals Linda's truck, right? Aaron says, who got no ass? Sydney Sweeney. And she doesn't really need an ass because what she lacks in ass, she makes up for in titties. So, and they're real. And I think that was the point of that commercial because they weren't looking at her pants. I'm just saying. They were talking about them, but the camera was steady focused on her cleavage. Just so you know. Amy says, the jeans model, Aaron, said Amy. Said Amanda. And Judy says, thumbs up, Linda. And Kevin says, Linda, hold on to that Tundra. The new ones suck, from what I'm told. Everything new sucks, Kevin. They stopped making good a long time ago. Now they're actively making crap. That's why I like old things. Aaron says, yeah, but who? Sydney Sweeney is her name. Amy says, Sydney Sweeney. Aaron says, who the hell is Sweeney? Sydney Sweeney. She's an actress who did a jeans commercial that everybody in the world got up in arms about because she was pretty.
Sydney Sweeney, Aaron, no ass at all.
And personally, I think it was refreshing because if you go look at TV, there's not a lot of pretty people on it nowadays. The fact that that company decided to use a hot girl to sell jeans, bravo. I wish more people would do that because here lately it's been not so good. TV shows and movies and TV and commercials and things like that, advertisements. It's like they've all been pushing the message, you know, diversity is our strength. Nobody's bothering to sell their stuff anymore. Or they have vastly overestimated the people that are consuming those products. They've been sold a lie themselves. Something like that. Anyway, Sydney Sweeney's a pretty girl who sold jeans. She's an actress. And she knows what she is. She knows she's a pretty girl that can sell things with her knockers. And she acts accordingly. And I appreciate that. There's a few of those left, but not very many. What I don't like is people like Sigourney Weaver, who did the movie Aliens and the scene at the end with her in her panties. Totally did that willingly and got paid for it and then has lived off the money from that movie for the last 40 years and is now on TV talking about how she felt like the director pushed her into doing it and how she was ashamed of herself. Hey, you didn't mind cashing those checks, did you? That's all I'm saying. Stop complaining. It was your choice to do it. Linda says, Kevin, I love my truck. I almost went off a cliff yesterday, though. Jesus, are you okay? And Judy says she's a clothes model, Aaron. Well, she's an actress that did a commercial, but yeah. Probably did some modeling, too. Madison says, damn it, I wish I wasn't drunk, ℂ𝕗. I suddenly want to go build Legos with Hannah. Hey, that sounds like fun. Probably don't do that drunk, though. And Kevin says, Linda, snow, probably. And Judy says, oh, my God, Linda.
Oh, well, Madison.
Aaron says, yep. I just saw all her blessing in the front, and she looks like that fish from Shark Tales.
Right. Right.
Right. Hey, whatever, you know.
Oh, no, Linda.
What you need to do is go look at all the videos of people that are freaking out because she did that commercial. It did go watch the commercial. She did nothing wrong, but people are freaking out because of it. And that's kind of what we're talking about, is that mentality, I guess. I don't know how we got on this conversation. It's not one I really care too much for, but here it is, so we'll talk about it.
Talking about fat people.
Well, no, not necessarily.
Yeah, we were talking about fat people, and you brought up the Cindy Sweeney commercial.
We were talking about people that were morbidly obese, not just fat. I've said repeatedly, there's nothing wrong with people that are overweight. That's not what I'm talking about. And I didn't start this conversation. I don't know how it got started, but here we are. But I don't care how it got started. John says, message retracted. I can't read it if you retract it. Amy says, leap year or election year have February 29th. Is it election year, this leap year? And John says, leap year, sorry. Or Nugget says, Madison says, I've been thinking of asking Mabel if I could take Hannah for a weekend. I know she could use a break. Well, as long as you agree to, look out for her and, be on good behavior and all that stuff, I don't know why she'd say no to that. She is 14 or so, isn't she?
Yes.
Linda says, ice under the snow, Kevin. Yeah, that stuff can be scary. That black ice will get you.
She might like that, Madison. All moms need a break sometimes.
True. Linda says, four-wheel drive doesn't work on ice. No. And it don't work in things that are sinking either. You got to be really skilled to drive through sinking stuff. Kevin says, in my opinion, Madison, you should ask if she would like that. And that puts the ball in her court. Just my opinion. Agreed. Judy says, so glad you're okay, Linda. Me too. Kevin says, Linda, nothing works on ice. There's Gypsy and the Vanilla Gorilla. What's up, Twinkle Little Star? Hi, Gypsy and Vanilla Gorilla. Happy New Year. Did you guys enjoy the festivities? Do you have any resolutions you want to report? And Linda says, yep, Kevin. Madison says, Kevin, she needs a break. Now, she wouldn't say it if she needed help, but I know she does. And she also is very strong and independent and doesn't like to let go of the reins. But that's admirable, too. Amy says, Buck Angel is also in the same camp as Blair White. Buck Angel. Is that a boxer or fighter? She lived as a man for 30 years. The organization is called Gays Against Groomers. Gotcha. I've heard the name Buck Angel, but I can't place it. I'm thinking it's an MMA fighter. Is that right?
Gypsy Gorilla Hamburger Helper Hand.
Yeah. Nugget says in Britain, they're rolling out digital ID for newborn babies. Britain's gone to shit. Oh, yes. Digital IDs is how it starts, by the way. Pretty soon we're going to be under one world government, one world religion, and no money. Write it down that Jake said so. It's coming. To a city near you. Can I get an amen? Kevin says, Madison, you know her better than we do, or I do. And Gypsy says, Amanda. And Kevin says, Gorilla, Hamburger Helper Hand. Amanda?
My chat, John. I'm trying to get there.
Okay. 10.
10 even?
10 even.
Madison, most moms won't say they need a break, but we all do sometimes, even if it's just for a few hours.
Dads need a break too. Break me off a piece of that Kit Kat bar. What?
Got to get off the computer long enough.
Hey, you watch your mouth. That computer makes our living. Well, not that one, but it could. Madison says, Hannah is cool as F. Honestly, I would enjoy taking her for the weekend. I bet she'd enjoy it too. You guys seem like you're kind of close. And that's good to have in a life, by the way, so. Linda says, Amanda, I've been raising kids for so long, I have no problem saying I need a break, and when I really do.
Right.
Right on. Yeah, it's funny, that first kid, you're like, don't touch that unless you put gloves on it, you know. No, you can't touch my baby. No, you can't hold my baby. Hey, who are you? Stay away from my child. By the third child, you're like, here, take this. I got to go. Baby? What baby? Oh, yeah, that baby. I don't know why that is. Just kind of, it's a sliding scale of newness. You're uber careful with the first one, and after that, you're just like, oh, they'll bounce. Let him pull that TV off on his head. He won't do that again. Gypsy says, you can walk them to the water, but you can't make them drink. You'll drown them. This is true. I don't know who they are in this hyperbolic statement, but it is correct. What it is, Happy New Year. Liver loaf with the fat strip around it is good stuff. There you go. What is that called? It's not liver loaf. There's a name, starts with a G and it's not, or starts with a B, and it's not Brunswager, but it's close.
Bratsworth?
Something like that.
I don't know. I don't eat that junk.
It's going to drive me crazy, but I'll find it. It's out there. I don't eat it either, but it does have a taste and a smell. Amy says, Gypsy, you can lead a horticulture, but you can't make her think. Amen. And what it is says, hello to all. Hey, what it is. Happy New Year. Don't forget to write 26. Madison says, where's our Italian translator during this cheese talk, Lamau? I don't know. I get the feeling she's getting kind of tired of me, but we'll see. Amy says, hey, what it is? Kissy face. Judy says, hey, what it is? And Linda says, hey, what it is?
What it is, hamburger helper hand.
And Gypsy says, LOL, Amy. Kevin says, hamburger helper hand, what it is? Nugget says, they place it in cheese caves. Yes. And they let it mold for a while. And then they cut the mold off of it in some cases, and in some cases they sell it with the mold still on it. That's high-end cheese, though. Sorry, my chat jumped.
10:08. $10:07.
10:07. Yeah. Amy says, message retracted. I can't read it if you retract it. Amy says, there are cheese blocks that are aged decades, maybe even 100 years. I'm not rich enough to even sample it, right? Same thing with truffles. Way too valuable. I'm not eating anything that valuable. It's like eating gold.
I have eaten gold.
Have you? So have I. I've drank it anyway. Goldschlager.
Yeah, I've drank it too, but I've actually eaten it.
It's dumb. Why would you do that?
It wasn't that bad, really.
Are you talking about gold flake?
Well, yeah, it's a gold sheet.
Yeah. Debbie says liver cheese has the fat or something white and slimy around it, and you peel it off. Yeah, that might be what I'm talking about. When I was younger, I thought that was cheese, but it might be fat. Kevin says, need more coffee. Be right back. I hear you, brother. Me too. And actually, I got a cup right here. Amy says, retracted due to a mistyped comment. Got it. And Judy says, ew, Debbie. Nugget says, they use muslin cloth for cheese. What do they use cheesecloth for then? Huh?
For muzzling.
What it is says, born naked and ignorant. Illiterate, yes. Naked and illiterate. That's what happens if you drink too much coffee. Your children will be born naked, upside down, and illiterate. That's what I heard anyway. Gypsy says, my wife just said, you sound like Larry the Cable Guy. I don't hear it, but that's what she said. I do not sound like Larry the Cable Guy. He sounds much more retarded than I do.
Somehow the accent.
Yeah, get her done. That sounds like Larry the Cable Guy. Get her done. Mm-hmm. Like fart. I don't know whether to hook her up to my truck or kiss her. I don't sound like that.
I can hear it too, Gorilla.
You think I sound like Larry the Cable Guy?
Sometimes your Southern comes out like Larry, yes.
I never sound like Larry the Cable Guy. I sound like a very highfalutin Southern trash guy. I'm a Southern white trash, highfalutin lower upper.
Like I said, your Southern comes out like that sometimes.
Well, his Southern don't because he's not Southern. He was born in New York, I think.
I think he was born in Georgia.
I don't think he's Georgia.
Let's see.
Let's find out. Pull that up, Jamie. I think he's Northern, playing a Southern guy. He might be from Florida, though. A lot of Northerners in Florida.
Pawnee City, Nebraska.
Nebraska. Okay, that's not Georgia.
90 miles from Omaha.
Omaha, so he's Western. He's Northwestern. What would you call that? Midwestern? He's Midwestern.
I could have swore he grew up in a southern state, though.
Gypsy says, oh, hi. Wavy hand, cowboy face. Kevin says, I'm back, but the coffee pot was empty. I need an Amanda. Everybody needs an Amanda. Delicious. Where'd you go, Madison?
She's getting drunk, getting ready to pass out.
Judy says, poor Kevin.
LOL. Oh, Kevin.
Linda says, oh, Kevin. What'd I miss? Oh, yeah. Need an Amanda. Yeah. Bill Bennett says, was that an old joke? LOL. Which one?
BMW.
I'm a BMW.
What's the BMW stand for?
Big money waste. British Monte Carlo wishes.
Big man wheels.
Gypsy says, turns the breakfast of champions. Tums, the breakfast of champions. Yes. Hair of the dog. I'm with you. Amy says, time to eat some more pineapple. Who lives in a pineapple under the sea?
SpongeBob SquarePants.
Blah, 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 blah. I don't know the rest of it. I tuned out at that point. Linda says, yes, you put vinegar in milk, and you should have seen how long it took me to spell ricotta without using a G instead of a C. Right? Kevin says, Linda, are you full Italian? I thought she was full Greek. I might be wrong.
She's half and half.
Linda says, yes, Kevin, first generation American. I apologize. I thought you said you were Greek.
She's half and half. She might have been full of Italian before.
Debbie says, Linda, you like popcorn? I got her number. How's that for popcorn? I'm sorry. Wrong movie. Kevin says, Linda, and you cook? She does. And you cook. I'm sorry, I said that wrong. I put the syllable in the wrong emphasis. Linda says, sorry, Kevin. I am half Italian and half Greek. Nothing wrong with that. That means she cooks and it's a little oily. Gypsy says, I pulled over again yesterday because I had penguins in my vehicle. The officer said, I thought I told you yesterday to take those things to the zoo. I don't get it. Kevin says, smiley, smiley, smiley. Did I miss something? I got pulled over yesterday again because of having penguins in my vehicle. And the officer said, I thought I told you to take those yesterday to the zoo. Take those things to the zoo. What's the joke? You have penguins in your car both days? Why do you have penguins in your car? What's funny about that? I know there's a joke there, but I don't see it, and I don't like not seeing things. Explain it. Kevin says, smiley, 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 smiley at Debbie. And Debbie says, Linda, make popcorn and Kevin will come. Really? Is it that easy?
Kevin's a cheapo.
I mean, you got to pull kind of hard for me, but popcorn and that's it?
All we got to do is threaten to shake the couch cushions at you.
Linda says, LOL, Debbie. Nugget says, rent it to make cheese, it spill it. Okay. And Gypsy says, I told him, oh, there's more to the joke. Okay. I told him I did take them to the zoo yesterday, and we had so much fun, we're going again to the museum today. Or we're going to the museum today. That's funny. All right. I just didn't see the whole joke. I apologize. I did take them to the zoo. We had so much fun today, we're going to the museum. I like it. Kevin says, Debbie, don't forget the butter. Parquet. I can't believe it's not butter. It's not. Debbie says, Linda, don't forget the butter for the popcorn to make him come. I'm jealous. That's not what I use popcorn for at all, but there is popcorn involved in threatening it. You ever had the old lap bucket with the hole in the bottom? That's how we used to do it in the old days.
Hole in your pocket?
No, you put a hole in the bottom of the popcorn and stick your thing in there, and then when she reaches for the popcorn, she gets a surprise.
I know. That's like having a hole in your pocket.
Well, you can't say, is that a hole in my pocket, or are you happy to see me? Only you're putting your hands in your pocket. Oh. Linda says, is that all it takes to get Kevin? That's what I'm saying. Just a little popcorn. I'm jealous. And Debbie says, yes, Linda, just make him some popcorn. Linda says, popcorn and coffee, got it. Madison says, Jaguar F-Type, supercharged, V8 AWD, all-wheel drive, 3 years old, never had an issue, fully loaded, leather, everything. I love it. I feel success driving a nice car. Others feel different. That's the world. I hear you there. Yeah, they are. Oh, Amanda?
Jaguars are gay cars now.
Oh, they're trying awful hard. That's sure. For sure. Did you see the new Jaguar commercial?
I wasn't saying you were gay, Madison. I'm just saying that Jaguars have gone woke with their gay commercial.
Yeah, Jaguars are nice cars. They deserve to be made. And I don't know why they're changing the model of how they advertise them, because that ain't going to do nothing but hurt the company. And also, you got to understand, it's the new people that have taken over the company that's doing that. The old people are gone. They don't run the company anymore. So, yeah, they're marketing it to the gays and the transgenders. Go watch that commercial. It'll freak you out a little bit. But no, that doesn't make you gay. Because up until recently, driving a Jaguar meant something. You know, it was a status symbol. They've changed all of that now. If driving a Jaguar makes me gay, I might kiss a girl and like it. Oh, no. Gypsy says, so are Broncos.
Okay.
Right? Well, I mean, they did do the whole Brokeback Mountain thing to get rid of Cowboys. Debbie says, I look at things like new cars and McMansions and think they are not better off than me. They are just further in debt than me. Yes. That's why I believe to live within your means. Somebody told me once that the way you did that was by saving money. My reply was, I've never made enough money to save in my life. It takes every penny I make to survive. It always has. It always will for the foreseeable future. That's the bracket I'm in. I've never made enough money that I felt comfortable putting away half of it or whatever, because I need that. I'll be right back in it if I put it away, because I'm going to need it. If you make enough money to save, you're doing better than I'm doing. So that can't be the way it works. If you're going in debt to get nice things, that also can't be the way it works, because that's not a good plan.
When I first got here, I brought some money with me and saved it. And Jake would come in and give me his money, and I would put some up and leave some out. And before we knew it, we had enough money for the truck. And he's like, wow, you saved all that? I'm like, yeah. He's like, I can't do that.
I can't. I don't know how to do it.
I saved enough money to go buy us the truck outright. And it only took, about a month?
I was hitting it kind of hard, so probably. Yeah, I don't disagree with that mentality, Debbie, but there's some people that just are in a higher bracket than we are, you know. And I can't imagine how to get in that world either. They knew stuff that I don't know. And Linda said, Kevin says, Linda, I'm easy. I go where the food is, where the good food is.
Most
right
men
on.
do.
All men do. We know how to get fed. Look around you. Everything you see, every building, every road, every development, every product, every car, every tree that was planted, everything, every song, every movie, every poem, every book was all written and all done for the love of a woman. Write it down that I said so. It's a fact. The only reason we have any of this is because a dude wanted to impress a girl or get that girl. That's why everything exists. So, to those women out there that are saying, I don't need no man. Oh, yeah? Well, I beg to differ. There's a lot of things out there you're not thinking about when you make that statement, like how the sewage just works, or how the shopping malls get there, or how the car you drive was built, or how the wars get fought, or how the food gets from one side of the country to the other. You might think you don't need a man. You are mistaken, and he needs you. It is a symbiotic relationship. Without each other, we die.
Or your hands will fall off one.
Something bad will happen. God knew what he was doing. And Gypsy said, wait, you said they are happy? Well, Jaguars always were silly cars, I thought. You mean gay happy? Yeah. No, different word. Linda says, true, Debbie. Agreed. And Madison says, I own my car, and I've worked hard for it. I'm young and making money, and I really don't care how anyone else feels about that. Well, that's good. You should be making money and young and be proud of it. Ain't nothing wrong with that. John says, God made us the way we are. Prayers. Yes. Amy says, I don't have a lot and I don't really want anything, but I'll probably die sad and alone. You don't have to. You don't have to. If you do, it's by choice. Because you are a beautiful lady with a good heart and a smart mind and a quick humor, quick wit. And I promise you, there are guys out there that would kill to be by your side. So you absolutely do not have to be sad and alone. That's entirely your choice. And if you feel like you can't do it, but you want it, come to old Jake and I'll fix you up. Promise.
That's right, Madison. You go, girl.
And Debbie says, I quit dyeing my hair, and now I rock the salt and pepper look. Well, you see what I got going on. That's all natural. All right. It's that time. Do me a favor, will you guys, please? Hit that subscribe button. Press the bell icon so you get notifications of when I'm going to be online. Smash that like button. It's free. It's right in front of you. It really does help the channel with the algorithms, and it helps us get recommended to other people. Won't you do that, please? Share this video with somebody you love. Better yet, share it with somebody you don't. Bring them into the family. Make them part of the fold. Be part of their solutions, not part of their problems. Leave a comment down below. Let me know what you're thinking about. Question me, curse me, bless me, challenge me, confront me, conform with me, drink my Kool-Aid, make your own Kool-Aid. As long as you're thinking critical, that's what I want. Critical thinking coming from that brain of yours. And hey, if you dig what I do and you like to see more of it, well, consider joining the channel. Get yourself a J-tag. Be part of the family. Buy a t-shirt. Leave a super chat in the chat box. But if you feel like helping out in a substantial way, help me keep this thing going, go to paypal.me/JakeJohnsonBand or Cash App $JakeJohnsonBand. Every little bit helps. It is a win-win. It is a blessing for me, but it's a blessing for you too. Why? Because God notices when you help his people. Now, I'm going to do everything in my power to be worthy of that support. I will answer all of your questions and comments. Will avail myself of you 24/7 as I always do right now. All right. Thank you for watching that. And on with the program. Yeah, I dyed my hair once, and I was not happy. I was still young enough that it didn't look bad, but I could see that if I kept doing this, I would be one of those old guys with purple hair or whatever. I don't know. This is it. This is what my hair looks like. Some people have told me my hair looks good. And to that I say, the camera adds 10 pounds. It looks good on camera. It's salt and peppery. This is, in fact, a gray beard. But thank you. Gypsy says, he's just an old hippie and he don't know what to do. Should he hold on to the old? Should he grab on to the new? He's an old hippie and he's trying not to rust. He's just trying real hard to adjust. Yeah.
Right, Debbie. I'm getting that way too with the salt and pepper hair.
Linda says, you look young, Debbie. Yeah. Kevin says, you both, by the way, are beautiful ladies, and you should be proud of what you look like. Kevin says, Gorilla's new cars are only made to last a few years before giving you problems. They're made to last a year before giving you problems. The model of every company on Earth now is to make a product that you have to buy again in a year. Every one of them. Nugget says, good night, everyone. John, God bless you, my friend. Thank you for being here. Have a good night, and I'll see you tomorrow night for some politics. Kevin says, good night, John. Linda says, good night, Nugget. Heart.
Night, Nugget.
Judy says, bye, Nugget. Bye, Nugget. Sorry, my voice is doing that crazy thing again. Debbie says, Linda, my profile pic is from 3 years ago. It's all right. You're still you. And Linda says, you're still young, Debbie, and you look great. Hang on a second.
10:29.
I better not mess with that. Madison says, nope, I own a Jaguar. I was looking at BMWs and said I felt blessed, or I felt based driving one. LOL. Oh, well, anyways, I do financially well for myself. Nobody's digging at you, honey. You're well within your right to feel that way and drive whatever you like. We're just sharing our opinions. And most of it's jealousy. I wish I drove a BMW. Debbie says, thanks, Linda, but I am 62, not so young. Well, that's the thing about youth. It's also beauty and youth go hand in hand, and they're both fleeting. You get them for a few years. Enjoy it while you can, and then the rest of your life is wishing you could go back to that. True. But youth, it only lasts for a little while. So if you're young and beautiful, enjoy.
Oh, okay, Madison.
Bill Bennett says, my mom and dad fed me no acetol pills, so I've got no acetol either. Ha ha ha. I hear you, Bill. I do have an ass. It's not a very big one, but it's there.
And it's white.
And it's white. Everything is made that way these days, says Gypsy. True. Made to break. There is nobody making good stuff that will last your lifetime anymore, except maybe Band-Aids. They got those cloth ones that are real strong. Maybe them. That's why I like old things. That's why I collect old stuff, because the older, the better. It just works better. It's just a better product. It just is. I don't like new things. I got to buy a washer and dryer for my other half Christmas present. And I told her to get one with a button and a knob. Nothing digital. I don't want anything that's got a computer in it. If it's smarter than me, it should wash its own damn clothes.
I don't want none of that fancy stuff either.
It has to have a belt and a dryer, and that's it. That's what we want, just a washing machine. I don't want a washing machine that plays video games or checks my email. I don't want it to make pretty noises when I open the door. I just want it to wash the clothes. That's it. So that's what we're looking for, an old washer and dryer that works. Linda says, well, Debbie, you age like good wine. Aw. She's saying that you're a little bit vinegary, but you taste good if you let it sit in your mouth for a little while. Amy says, LOL, Bill. Madison says, I could technically afford it, but I have a few investments on the go right now, and I would put myself in a bad position starting in 2026. So best wait. I hear you. And that's probably a smart move. If you've got that kind of money and you got it in it, if you're doing annuities or whatever, if you're investing in different companies, play that out. If you're smart and you know what you're doing, you can turn that investment into a nice return. I can't, because I don't understand that sort of thing, and I'm math dumb. I'm a genius in certain areas, but in math, no bueno. Can't do it. So for whatever reason, God did not want me to be one of those people. So I can't get into crypto or anything like that. I can barely survive tying my own shoes. Anyway, if you're one of those people that are good at that, play that out. you could buy 2 of those Aston Martins if you play your cards right. My advice, though, would be look at anything Nancy Pelosi does and do the same thing.
Bitcoin.
Bill Bennett says, good advertisement. Thank you. Hope it works. Amy says, Aaron started it. Smiley, smiley. And Amy says, feed Jake, CashApp, $, Jake Johnson Band, and PayPal, paypal.me/JakeJohnsonBand are appreciated. Super chats and super stickers are available. Thank you very much, Amy. I appreciate that. There you go. You get a feed Jake. Amy says, no, Buck Angel is not an MMA fighter. She's an influencer and an inspiration to some women living as men. And she recently celebrated a new granddaughter. I know I've heard that name. I just can't remember where I saw her at. But it seems like I might be thinking about Fallon Fox. That might be the MMA fighter. But Buck Angel is a name I've definitely heard. But I just can't remember where I heard it at. But I got you. Linda says, if it wasn't for some broken tree branches sticking out from under the ice, I would have gone off the edge. Oh, Jesus. Well, thank God you didn't. How far off the edge are we talking? Like actual cliff? Or just like a ditch? Either way, I'm glad you didn't go over the edge. And Kevin says, Linda, I hope you thanked God. Absolutely. Kevin says, 4-wheel drive will get you moving, but it won't stop you. Right. Good gracious. Linda says, definitely did, Kevin. My son Tom is amazing. I can't believe how he got me out of that mess. Well, thank God for Tom. Kevin says, Linda, black ice is no joke. It is not. And Amy says, it's called Bro Stinky Feet cheese. Yeah, it does kind of smell like stinky feet, don't it? Linda says, Kevin, I got home yesterday and was so sore from gripping that wheel that I went to bed. I bet. Kevin says, Linda, the best thing you can do is drive slow. Yep, drive like you have no brakes, and you'll be all right. And Judy says, stay home if you can when the weather is bad, Linda. And Madison says, I'm still here. Amy says, my husband used to pronounce Parmesan cheese as Farmer John cheese. I hear you. I pronounce Parmesan cheese. I like Parmesan cheese. Linda says, Jake might be thinking of prosciutto and mozzarella pinwheels. Maybe. You know I don't know what I'm talking about. And Bill Bennett says, don't remember what was said now. I don't either. And Madison says something in German. I think it's German. Berich Morton work. What is that? Is that cheese? Or that beef stuff that I'm talking about? Linda says, Kevin, I was pulling out of a parking lot that wasn't treated. Plus, it snowed New Year's Eve. Well, thank God you're safe. I don't know what I would do if I lost you. Judy says, Amanda, tell him about the penguins. The penguins? Penguins, says Judy.
I don't know.
Are you talking about the joke that I only heard half of and then started going off before I heard the rest of it. Madison says, Debbie's OnlyFans is just her making popcorn. Hey, I've seen some dog ugly girls making like $1 million a month on OnlyFans. I wish I had that kind of thing that I could do that, but I don't. So kudos to them, I guess. Madison says, and Kevin is subscribed for the year. Right on. Simping for that popcorn. Debbie says, Madison, you must be a subscriber because only my fans know that. Madison says, I am. She told you she drove a Jaguar. Judy says, LOL. And Linda says, it means I cook and I'm a little wild. If you know, you know. Half Italian and half Greek. Oh, I know. And Madison says, cook that popcorn, you dirty girl. Rawr. Dirty girl. Linda says, LOL, Madison. Smiley, smiley. Kevin says, I can't comment without going too far in the gutter. Smiley, smiley. Well, from the sound of it, you can't comment because you've already finished all this popcorn talk.
He done popped his corn.
Debbie says, I do, Madison, I do. I do it good and slow. Madison says, oh, yeah, I know you do.
Glug Glug 6000.
There, right on. Amy said, there's a website that lists cheeses by type and alphabetical, and there are too many to list that start with the letter B. Okay, well, what we're talking about is meat, not cheese. And it's a form of liverwurst that we're looking for. And it might be brockwurst. That might be what it's called, brockwurst. Is that a thing? I always thought a brockwurst was a sausage, but this is not a sausage. This is it looks like potted meat that's been formed into a loaf. And it tastes very different. But it's not sausage. And I don't know what it is. It might be called something worst, brockwurst or something like that, though. It's something from my childhood that my mom ate occasionally. Amy says, see y'all, I'm driving home and listening.
I think you're thinking about the same thing that I'm talking about.
I think I am. Yeah.
Because I remember seeing your mom eat that too. So, yes, it's the same thing.
Amanda says, be safe, Amy. Linda says, be careful, Amy. And be careful, Amy. Don't hit that black ice. Judy says, bye, Amy. Kevin says, good night, Amy. Amy says, I'm still here. I'm just driving. Tell Larry we said hello. Amy says, I need a man. All right. I got you covered, honey. Let me do some talking. I'll hook you up. Linda says, Amy Hart. Madison says, hang on. Madison says, I have very minimal amounts of crypto to kind of just keep up with the times, but I prefer material investing, companies, housing, fashion items, and a huge market for small investments too. BMW, LOL. I'm just glad to hear you're not an OnlyFans girl. I'm glad you're using your brain and not your breasts. Because I would hate to have to subscribe and tell you how to get back to God. Just kidding. That's what BMW stands for. What?
The B name she said earlier.
I got you. Yeah. I thought it was British Motor something or other.
No, the British Mortar and Work or whatever.
Yeah.
German.
Bavarian Motor Works, says Kevin. Right. Madison says, yeah, that's what I was translated to. Kevin says, overly complicated with a lot of electrical problems. Right. Amanda?
Nighters, I'll see you tomorrow night at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time right here on Untethered Live for Politics. Much love, y'all.
Is that time already?
Yeah, it's 11:30.
Ew. And Madison says, no, I have respect for myself, 𝕂𝕠𝕝. As you should. As you should. And Amanda says, it is Braunschweiger. I guess it is. I just don't remember being called that. Linda says, good night, all. See you tomorrow night. Heart. Judy says, bye, y'all. Kevin says, good night, everyone. Thank you all so much for a wonderful Friday evening. I love each and every one of you. Have respect for yourself and stay off of OnlyFans. And don't eat cheese.
Jake.
Hey, I'll do whatever it takes. If I could get away with OnlyFans, I'd do it. But people probably pay me to keep my clothes on. Sooner if you're making popcorn, says Kevin. Right? All right. I love you guys. Thank you so much for being here. I've had a good time. Like, subscribe, share, support, join Super Chat. See you next time. God bless you all. Thank you for watching.
Good night, y'all.